Hi guys, this is Jackdaw, and today I thought we would do something different than what I normally do. I've been having a hectic week with a lot of stuff to do on the studying front, and so I thought I would relax during the afternoon with a few funny tanks to play. And I thought I would do a video showing you my favorite two tanks out of the whole German Tier 3 bracket. And those tanks are two light tanks. They are the Panzerkampfwagen 1C and the Panzerkampfwagen 3A. Those tanks are just great. And they're quick and maneuverable light tanks, and if you're looking for something fun to drive, I can highly recommend you the Panzerkampfwagen 1C. It looks like this. It's a small machine with a light machine gun for armament, and the Panzerkampfwagen 3 Ausfang A with I'm using the long 50mm KWK-38 L42 on it. So they're a bit alike in the playstyle, but they're also different. You play them in different ways as you will see in the videos. With the Panzerkampfwagen 1 Ausfang C, you can be more reckless because it has a speed limit of 79 kph, which makes it one of the fastest tanks in the game. And it also has a automatic machine gun, so that allows you to basically just auto aim and press the left button of your mouse until the enemy tank is dead. Whereas on this tank you actually have a real anti-tank gun that you need to use and aim. So you can't really haul ass and go and do donuts around your enemies while shooting at them, because if you do, you will most certainly miss. But this is also a fast tank. It does 68 kph at best, and it's more or less you can play it as an active scout, and you can also play it as a passive scout if you get close enough to the enemy. But what this tank really excels at is flanking your opponent and showing up at a different direction than what he thinks you will come from, or he might not even be aware of where you are, and then all of a sudden you show up behind them or at the enemy side and taking advantage of weaker side and back armor. So let's have a Panzerkampfwagen 3 game, and I'll show you what I mean. We're at Erlenberg, I believe this map is called, and yeah, I decided to do something different. I usually go up a different road up to the hill, or I go up to the train yard, but now I decided I would go straight up that road that I spawned at to climb up the hill. And in a game like this, where you are seated into the bottom of the team as a scout, you really need to take care about what you're doing. You can't just really go YOLO and just drive straight at the enemy. So here I stop to take shots at that Marder 2, just shows up, and 3 shots later I kill him. I'll stay around for a while to see if I can find any other targets, And I was lucky enough that none of the enemy team actually came up to the hill, so we right now we have the enemy just where we want them, down there, boxed in, and they can't really go anywhere. So I'm trying to hit stuff that is moving down there, and I see this AMX-40. I take a shot at him, sort of looks around, and I can see he hasn't moved, so that means that he's aiming. And I drive away just in time to miss that shot. And so I move up to a better spot and I start putting in some fire on these guys down here. But yeah, at long ranges against tier 4 and 5 tanks, this gun isn't really all that good. But you can score damage if you're lucky enough. And that's what I'm trying to do here on the B1. But the first two shots is bounces, so I switch over to premium shell, but that one also bounced, so I decide to go back to regular ammo. And I'm lucky enough to track the tank. After he's been tracked, I can start aiming for the weak turret on the tank. The hull is quite heavily armored for its tire, but the turret has almost no armor. So I aim for that and get some lucky hits in, and I take him out. So I more or less took care of one B1 heavy tank alone with the Panzerkampfwagen 3 Hausfang A. That's what this 50mm long barrel gun can do at this tire. Come around the corner, do some high speed skidding, decide not to go straight in there and to just drive out in front of the enemy and try to sneak around the corner. But I derp into the building. I just take a opportunistic shot there. Didn't really think that I would penetrate. So now it's just us versus that lone Matilda. So I'm taking my chances here. I'm driving straight out in front of that Matilda. Shouldn't do that, but hey. And then I load premium and I try to aim for the ventilation shafts on the side there, and I take him out. So not at all a terrible game in a scout tank, but of course I had some help from my friends. But nevertheless, it was a rank 2 game, and yeah, I got some credits and I had fun, so I can't complain. I ended up in 3rd place on the team, scoring some damage and taking some kills, and I made some profit as well, so I can't complain about that. Now let's have another game in the Panzerkampfwagen 3. So here's the game I had recently on Karelia, and it's in the Panzerkampfwagen 3 Hausfang A, and it's a tier 3 game, and you don't see these games too often. You get seeded into tier 5 games and you have to act as a scout, whereas here you can use the tank as a light scout tank slash brawler. And yeah, you will, as you will see, you have totally different qualities in a game like this. So I'm trying to move up quickly to gain possession of the hill here on the right side of the map. And I can see by the scout tank who went straight on that most of the enemy tanks are still at or around the base, so I do not mind my flank all too much, but I set up camp for some easy targets. But the tanks sort of disappears before I get the chance to fire. So I'm thinking here that maybe I should take matters into own hands, and I spot the T-18 coming up, and I sort of hesitate for a second, and then yeah, I roll up and I see this cruiser too. I get one hit and then I aim for a second shot. This gun isn't really great for long range engagements, so you might want to look out for that, and you might want to yeah, use the tank's superior speed to get close. So I'm thinking at the moment maybe I should flank the tanks on the right here by going down this cliff, but then I see this M2 light tank, so yeah, 3 shots later and he's dead. And this seemed to encourage my team to move up the main road in the center and on the left flank. But what they failed to see is that there are still some tanks up there. And I can spot these 2 targets, or I get this opportunity on these 2. So I take it, fire at that FTAC, take him out in 3 shots. I'm getting fired at from somewhere, so I decide to move. But I managed to kill that Panzerkampfwagen 3 first. Yeah, now we're having incoming fire from everywhere, and that Marder 2 managed to hit my tracks. But I move up here on the right flank to come up from behind on these guys. But the enemy team has all died on this flank, so I move up again. Decide to roll up on the right here to flank those campers who are still camping at around C8. There's a ping in it on the map, and yeah, it seems like a tank has been spotted on that side. So here's the most dangerous tank on the enemy team at the moment. Or yeah, Marder 2 on full health would be a very dangerous tank, but here's he was only on 14 HP. I sort of park in front of this guy just to take him out. I kind of underestimated his fire rate. And here I load Goda ammo, because I know that that AMX 38 is very, very heavily armored for this tire. So I back up and wait for my teammates to come and help me out with him. And then I make a mistake to go up and block my teammate here, and I shouldn't have gone into the fire zone of that AMX. But I tried to flank him here. I can see he's not looking at my direction, so I just park and take him out. So I'm on 7 kills, and as you can see, this tank is pretty crazy if you use it right, and if you exploit the enemy weaknesses. So my teammates are going for the cap now, and I know that the enemy team are all on the left side of the map, so I decide to pursue some more kills and to hunt them down. And I write to my teammate, please don't cap, we got this. And the M2 medium has been spotted, so now I know where he is, and I'm looking around to see where that H35 is, but I can't see him yet. I just roll up and I use this tank's insane speed to get close to the enemy fast, doing 68 kilometers an hour, 64 kph here. So yeah, this is a very fast tank, and if you play it right, it will be very fun as well. So I took him out, and I go back to defend the base. I'm thinking if I go up here on the right side, that medium 2 will have seen where I'm coming from. So let's try to flank him. I'm thinking about going left, all the way to the left here, but then I just, shit, screw it, let's go up the center. So I load premium rounds again, just to make sure that I take him out. Missed the first shot, he also missed. Second shot is a miss. And yeah, I'm kind of relying on my... can I get the last one? No! I get taken out. And he's left on 11 HP. I totally overestimated my fire rate there. But hey, it was fun. An 8 kill game, so yeah. Panzerkampfwagen 3 Ausbildung A. You should get it. Try it out. Let's have a look at the Panzerwagen. Let's look at some post-game stats, and after that move on to the Panzer 1C. So, looking at the post-game stats, you can see that that was my master badge, and I also got sharpshooter, top gun, and high caliber. And I did 1100 damage, got 8 kills, and got 971 XP for the game, as well as 2 medals. And I fired 25 shots, hit 23, penetrated with 22, and yeah, actually lost credits in the game. So, let's have a look at the Panzerkampfwagen 1C. We're at I can't remember the name of this map actually. Swamp? Malinovka? Yeah, whatever. It's been around for a while. And I'm in a Type 5 game. No, Type 4 game. So I need to act as a scout first of all. So I was thinking I would go up here along the swamp and hide myself behind these bushes and get some spots. So I'm sitting here looking around, I spot that birch gun, decide not to shoot, and turns out it's the right decision. And yeah, in these games I tend to start the game as a passive scout for a while until some of the enemy tanks has been taken out, and then I run amok and cause chaos wherever I can. So I see this AMX-38, that's not the target that I can damage, so I choose not to fire at him. I'm telling my team that most of the enemy team will be on the right side, I believe, because I can't see them. And then I spot this T-28, and it's just too good target to... I can't resist the urge to shoot at him. And as you can see, a full clip of automatic fire into that T-28 just wrecked the tank. And the same goes for the Panzer 3A actually. So if you're planning to use the Panzer 3A, you should be aware that Panzer 1C drivers will absolutely wreck your tank because you don't have any armor, and this machine gun, anti-tank machine gun, will just take you out in no time. So now seems to be a pretty good point in the game to move forward to cause chaos. And since we also had been attacked on the right top corner of the map, I take the decision just to go for it. I get hit by that MX-40, and yeah, that wasn't all too good. Didn't really pay attention, and I put a salvo into that friendly tank. That can happen. Then I'll spot this Marder 38T, which is a very dangerous tank, so I pour it on him. A full clip. And yeah, well, he's down to 6 HP. That's what this tank can do with lightly armed tanks. It's just wreck them. And as you might have seen, I do not manually aim with this tank since it's a machine gun. I just click on the right mouse button and let the gunner aim, and then I just fire at automatic. Since I'm the tank that is the furthest up ahead, most tanks fire at me, so I need to stay moving, stay mobile, and present myself as a difficult target to hit, since they will be firing at me. And I see that B1 on the left, so I decide not to go more to the left than I am, but he gets taken out, so I flank the tanks who are up here in the woods. It turns out that it's only that she slept, or she knew. No, it was a she. So 2 kills so far. And yeah, I can't really do anything about the last tank there. But this is a side of the Panzer 1C that you don't really see all that often when it gets seeded into games like this, where it has to act as a scout. But I thought it was interesting for you to see. It's still a lot of fun to play the tanks like this, and I enjoy it a great deal. So it was a first class game, and you can see here I spotted 6 tanks and caused some spotting damage to them. I also did some damage myself, took out the Wespe, damaged the Shiha, and killed the Panzer 3A. So yeah, pretty good stuff there. So let's have another game in the tank and show a different side of it. So we're at mines, and I do as I often do. I go up the center road, try to take the hill first, and yeah, my teammate there stops to have some shots at the enemy, but I continue up. Go up to this rock. To start with, I don't do all that much. I'm thinking maybe that T-82 will back up, and that will give me opportunity for a shot at him. And then I remember I have RT in the game, so I spot tanks for the artillery, hoping that the artillery will get to work on them, but nothing really happens. Meanwhile, that T-82 seems to think he's in a bad spot, so he goes back and straight into my line of fire. So I take him out. Pretty sneaky there, but that's what you have to do in certain games. So I start doing some work on those tanks there in the bush. I killed the line tank first, and then I start shooting at the Marder 2. But I lose sight of him, and I kind of miss. I see the Wespe at the back. So I give him a magazine. Hope to take him out, but that's not enough. So there's still that tank left. So I decide, well, might just as well shoot at him, even though he's AFK. Would be rude not to. So I see we're about to be capped, and I decide to go back, but I failed to look at the map, and in a total state of brain freeze I go in the wrong direction, and I end up roughly where I was before I went. So I decide to, might just as well go and hunt down that arty tank. And on my way over I spot the French tank destroyer, which is a very dangerous tank destroyer, so I go for him instead. And I start running amok between the tanks in the enemy team. Take out the Wespe first. And there's no enemies left, so I know that the last two of them are up here on the sniping spot. So I start doing some work on that cruiser first. But he's armored, it seems. So I give the Panzer a try. But that only does some small amount of damage. And I switch over to the Cruiser 2 and I realize I'm at low HP, so I can't really stick around in his gun sight all that much. I need to relocate. So I decide to flank him to try to get a shot at him from behind. But I get distracted by that Panzer 35 first. I'm thinking maybe I will get a sneaky shot in there if I fire while on the move. I'll fail. So I go around here, around back. Thinking, okay, can I get a Top Gun medal? Please, please, please. Yeah, it seems like his turret is sticking up. But I have no shot at the moment. Also, I'm reloading. So I aim manually, and yeah! And the last second of the game, I get the Top Gun medal, so that's nice. So here's some post-game stats. That was a first-class game. I got Top Gun. I had 6 kills, amongst other things. And hopefully these games here have shown you just how fun these two Type 3 light tanks are. I can highly recommend anyone to buy them. Yeah, you get to fire a lot with the Panzerkampfwagen 1C, so that's great. And the Panzerkampfwagen 3 Ausfang A presents different kind of play styles, so I like them a lot, both of them. So you should get them and try it out. This is Jackdaw, and I'm signing out.